Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make this amazing corned beef hash Nigerian style. It is one of those breakfast meals that I love to enjoy on a Saturday or anytime during the week. This recipe requires minimal effort. The ingredients are super simple. You can find them in a local store, supermarket, or you may even have them in your pantry or your kitchen. Now, let's get to making this amazing meal. Here's what you'll need. You'll be needing some potatoes. In Nigeria, we call this Irish potatoes. You'll also be needing canned corned beef. The brand you use is very important. Also, you'll be needing some butter for fat and flavor. You'll be needing some oil just to prevent the butter from burning. You'll be needing some white onion and some purple onion, or you can just use one color of onion. We'll also be using some aromatics. Here I am using just garlic, but feel free to use garlic and fresh thyme. To make this spicy and more Nigerian, you'll be needing some scotch bonnet peppers, but feel free to deseed them. You'll be needing some bell peppers. Here I'm using red and green bell peppers. You'll be needing some salt, some black pepper, and finally to garnish, you'll be needing some spring onions and parsley. Let's get cooking. First, peel your potatoes. Whether you're using a peeler or you're using a knife, it just doesn't matter. Just peel it neatly and carefully. The next step is a bit tricky. Well, not so tricky. I mean, if you are great with your knife skills, then you can do this without a mandolin. But for the sake of time, I am using a mandolin. Now, the beauty about mandolins is that they have different cutting shapes, which makes it absolutely a must-have in every home, from my opinion. So this is what I'm talking about. So, for example, my mandolin, you can cut this into this shape, or you can cut it into a French fry shape. If you're cutting it into the previous shape, just understand that you would have to cut it down into a French fry shape and then break it down even further. So here I'm just showing you what a mandolin can do. Next up, I'm going to dice the potatoes. I have a video showing you exactly how I was able to do this or get the potatoes to this size. It's somewhere on my Instagram page, so feel free to visit my page. So this is the size that I'm working with, but feel free to make yours bigger if that's your cup of tea, but this is the size that I'm working with. It's also important to ensure that all your potatoes are of the same size so that they cook equally, or they cook at the same time and pace. I'm going to cover the potatoes with water, and the next thing I'm going to do is add a shot of white vinegar. The vinegar helps to crisp up the potatoes while it cooks. I'm going to set this aside for 5 to 10 minutes and then drain them. The next thing I'm going to do is to layer some paper towels on a flat surface and then pour out the drained potatoes on the paper towel. The idea is to get out as much moisture as you can from the potatoes before we cook them. So here I'm using another paper towel just to drain and make sure that the potatoes are completely dry before we move on to the next stage. So into a pan, I'm going to add some butter and vegetable oil, making sure that the butter and vegetable oil coats the pan properly. Next up, I'm going to transfer the potatoes into the pan. So what I'm doing here is spreading the potatoes so that they are all on, how do I explain this now? So I'm just spreading them out so that none is on top of each other. I'm spreading them out on a flat surface, making sure that they are all touching the pan. And I'm going to leave this. It's important that you leave this and allow it to cook. So cook this on low heat, and after 5 to 6 minutes, stir this. The idea is to crisp up the potatoes. If you stir it too soon, you're going to end up with soggy potatoes. Just leave it. We find it difficult to leave stuffs to cook. Just leave this alone. Allow it to cook. We really do need the potatoes to crisp up. And don't forget to smile while you cook. Now, after about 10-15 minutes, the potatoes are really crispy. The skin is really crispy, all thanks to the vinegar and also allowing the potatoes to cook on its own. Once the potato is crispy, or the potato skin is crispy, then you start to introduce the other ingredients. First, we're going to season it with some salt and black pepper. We want the potatoes to be tasty anyway. Then we're going to introduce some aromatics, which is garlic. And we're going to stir fry this for a couple of minutes, just until the garlic becomes fragrant. Then I'll introduce the corned beef. It's important you introduce the corned beef little by little so that it doesn't mush up the potatoes. Now, what we're trying to do with the corned beef is to equally dry it out, but not completely, but to remove as much moisture as you can from the corned beef, but still allowing it to have a how do I explain this? Anyway, the corned beef is supposed to coat the potato like a sauce, but it's not supposed to be really mushy. It's supposed to dry out just a little bit, but still be able to, coat the potatoes and, stick to it. Now, notice how I'm adding the corned beef little by little. It's important that you do that so that you don't over add your corned beef, and you just add the right amount. I've made this recipe for such a long time that I just know how to eyeball my measurements. So that's it. Once you have gotten the right mix of corned beef and potatoes, then you can introduce the rest of your ingredients. The rest of the ingredients are not totally supposed to cook, but you know what I mean. So next up, I'm introducing my scotch bonnet peppers. I'm introducing the onion. I want them to have a little bite. I don't want them to cook completely or become so translucent. I want them to still be there. I need them for the color, I need them for the crunch, that's the texture, and I need them for the flavor. If you're wary about how spicy the meal can or will get, please try as much as possible to deseed your scotch bonnet peppers. Next up, for some extra crunch, I'm adding the bell peppers. See how colorful they look? It's vibrant, it's colorful, and it's just downright amazing. Your kitchen is going to smell really amazing. It's a quick and easy breakfast to make. I mean, you can cut the potatoes a day ahead, leave it to soak in the vinegar solution overnight, and then get up in the morning and cook it. Now this is completely done. Look at how amazing the hash looks. It is completely done. All that is left for you to do is to fry up some egg and pair this with it. If you have hot sauce, if you live outside the country and you're a fan of hot sauce, you can use hot sauce on this, but the scotch bonnet pepper already does a lot of work. So here, just garnish it with parsley and top it off with some fried eggs. Next up, I'm going to finish this off with extra parsley, some spring onions as well, and I'm going to season the eggs with salt and black pepper. And that's it. Your corned beef hash is ready to eat and enjoy. I promise you, if you try this or if you give this a try, you would absolutely love it. It's one of those meals that you don't make every single time because you don't want to get used to it. It's one of those meals that you make on very special occasions, for your boo, for yourself, for your kids, for your family, your mom, your dad. It's just one of those meals that you make on very special occasions. And that's it. Our corned beef hash Nigerian style is done. It's ready. I mean, you can cook your eggs to your preference. It doesn't really have to be a sunny side up. You can even make a sunny side up well done, but I would say try it the sunny side up way. Maybe not allow your eggs to be too runny, but just custardy. It's really great. And that's it. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, love you, munchos.